Welcome to The Informant, the podcast that talks about anything and everything. We cover from sports, religion, politics, social, you name it. I'm your host as ever, Doc McLeod. So without any further ado, let's delve right into it. Right, good people, I hope I find you well. This is just my opinion. It's not something that's going to happen. You know, I always want to come and give you points pertaining to things that's happening. But this is just my personal analysis, and hopefully it will sit down well with other people, or most people. Reality seems to have stuck and struck. If it hasn't by now, I don't know what kind of a person one should be. Even the naysayers, they are left voiceless. All hope to those who were thinking otherwise. All hope has been dashed. I will tell you reasons why, and I want to explain these things one by one so that people understand. First and foremost, the biggest challenge that people who don't like Zanu PF are facing is human idolization. That's your biggest problem. Right. What it is, without mincing my words, with Nelson Chamisa having taken a sabbatical leave, he left a leadership vacuum that needed to have been filled. But because of the time that he took, it was actually helping and aiding Zanu PF to make strides ahead. Zanu PF were not waiting for all of that. Obvious, the distraction of the opposition was part of their strategy. Opposition as well should have worked also with one such strategy to make sure that they also bring down Zanu PF. Because Zanu PF is built with powerful structures. It's a power structure. It's a straitjacket. Opposition could not penetrate into Zanu PF. But what it is during this time where Zanu PF was having, or is still having, or let me say was having, because that fight is almost done. Let me be very frank with you. I don't want to mince my words. I want to be very honest. Whilst there were in-house fights between Zanu PF, this is where opposition was supposed to come together. And now here is where your biggest challenge as opposition was. Human idolization. You were waiting for the person of Nelson Chamisa to come and help you or lead you or give you instructions. Up till this very day, there are still some people who are pinning hope in Nelson Chamisa. This is where the biggest challenge is. Him taking a sabbatical leave, going quiet and not even communicating, and still you are hell-bending him from the terraces. Yeah, idolizing and shouting names about him from the terraces, attacking every person who's trying to give you hints as to where the problem is. You are too blinded because you are human followers. You are too blinded because you are human idolizers. What opposition should start to do now? Face up to reality. Hear this, face up to reality. Get that man out of the way. What made him to be a popular person is not because he is a popular person, but what made him to be a popular person is because a baton was passed on to him by Morgan Tsvangirai. Whoever Morgan Tsvangirai would have anointed would have also become very popular. So because of that, he is the one who's playing with your feelings. You can refuse it, but to the victory of Zanu PF and the aiding of it to announce the 2030 mantra, Chamisa contributed 50%. His silence leaves a lot to be desired. His silence is very questionable, especially from the people of the opposition. How can you expect a former opposition leader who pulled 2 million votes to keep quiet up to this stage? When at this point in time, this was the time when Zanu PF was fragile. Just imagine. Let's reason. Let's not use emotions. Let's reason together here. If you're harsh about whatever I'm saying, or if you're not very happy about whatever, just take your phone and throw it on the floor. That's the only thing you can do. Other than that, you come here, I will continue to tell you the truth. And it's only but the truth that shall set you free. Mbwanana adzisvindurirane musi umwe chete. Teerera kune mbwanana dzakasvindura kudhara dzinoona nekuziva politics kuona kuti this is right, this is wrong. The victory of the sitting president, His Excellency Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, was not only aided, was 10-20% aided by Sengezo Shabangu, who made a move to make sure that he destroyed the opposition. But that was not the last thing. The opposition still had breath in it. But the problem is people idolize somebody instead of facing up with the truth. Had Chamisa come back and continue to speak, to engage his people. You know, people need information. People need to be engaged. How many times in the last 3-4 months, how many times have you seen the political meeting of Zanu PF? How many times have we heard about the Central Committee meeting of Zanu PF? They are engaging and they are having people to cover. The media is there covering, keeping people abreast. Right now you can deny it. But Zanu PF, whether you like it or not, they are one of the most organized political parties. Look at the way things have been done. Look at the funding that has been coming, the financiers. Don't tell me how they're getting their money. I'm just telling you about what's on the ground. Whether somebody killed to get the money, I'm just saying, look at the financiers. Whether somebody robbed to get the money, I'm just saying, look at the financiers. The way the world, it's like they are getting modernized. They are getting modernized by the day. If you look at it, look at even the people, the MPs of Zanu PF. They are looking Gucci. They are looking smart. Look at them. There's a lifestyle that's coming within Zanu PF. I don't think you'll ever get that in opposition. Unless, first of all, the mentality of the followers of opposition change. It is the one that's also failing you because you are not challenging yourself to accept reality. Whoever comes to tell you the truth, that person is attacked and stoned to death. And still you are remaining with supporters who are waiting for somebody who knows that myself being on sabbatical, I'm keeping everything pertaining to opposition on hold. Let me ask you a question. Don't you think as opposition, if you take every member that has been kicked out during the time of Chamisa and you bring them together and you ask them to table reality and make discussions clearing all the differences, do you think they will fail to agree? I don't think so. I don't think so. You take Tendai Miti, you put him on the table. You take Wende, you put him on the table. You take whoever, Kupe, you put here on the table. You take Monzori, you put him on the table. All of them, continue to bring all of them. Put them on the table. I, for one, believe those people can put their differences aside and move. It's not surprising to a person like me who follows closely to the political matters that this whole divide was all because of Nelson Chamisa. I don't hate Nelson Chamisa. I don't feed at his house. He doesn't feed at my house. I don't benefit from what he does. Neither does he benefit from what I does. I'm just a person giving you opinions, especially those who are hating from inside and pouring the hate on us instead of pouring the hate on your leader who's on sabbatical leave. Not actually explaining and opening up to people about his position. I think it's high time you approach him. Either you force him to make an announcement that he's out of politics and he gives the baton on to somebody else. Get people like Advocate Tabani Mpofu, get people like Fadzai Mahere, get people like Tendai Biti, at least maybe those three, and say, right, these three, we are getting them. Can we have a triple leadership just for you guys to drive us forward as opposition? Fadzai Mahere has never kept quiet. She's the very active person from the former Triple C under Nelson Chamisa, who has remained vocal. Who many people believe what she did by stepping out of the parliament was a good thing in alignment to what they were believing. She hasn't kept quiet. She's still vocal. She still challenges one or two things, meaning to say she's the only person who I see being very active and engaging from the opposition side. But can she step up and say, right, I want to form an opposition and not being ridiculed? Because whoever speaks anything before Nelson Chamisa opens his mouth, that person is regarded as an enemy. Just imagine Advocate Thabani Mpofu stepping up, Mr. V11s, yeah, Mr. Fulcrum. Just imagine he steps up on board and say, right, I have decided to come from from my position where I was as an advisor or as the solicitor for the opposition former Triple C party. I want to be the presidential candidate and form an opposition. He will be a very good candidate. Trust me, he will be a very good candidate. He hasn't kept quiet. He was speaking at some very important points, at some very important times, bringing some very important points out. But do you know what? Once he says that, when Chamisa is still sitting on the stick, yeah, the scepter of power, he will be ridiculed. He will be ridiculed. And he will also be made an enemy by the so aggrieved former Triple C opposition supporters who are just pointing arrows at everyone. Okay, Hopewell has suffered. Hopewell has suffered. And personally, I want to believe Hopewell was opposition. Hopewell was Triple C. At one point, I remember Hopewell was meeting with Nelson Chamisa in private, giving him advice. You know, as much as he was a journalist, he was not a neutral journalist. He was speaking on behalf of the opposition. He could not come out to say, I'm for opposition. But everything he was doing was to make sure that he's putting cracks within Zanu PF to help aid the momentum of the opposition. Look at Blessed Mhlanga. He has given the platform. As much as we know that he was neutral in whatever he was doing, but no one who has got very, very sharp mind, unless you're stupid or you're a fool, you would not see that Blessed Mhlanga was trying to aid the camp of the vice president. He has done everything. He has done everything he can from within his powers to make sure that he has made the voice of the vice president's camp to be heard. We started to know about Blessed Runesu Geza because of that platform. Jealous Mawarire steps on there is because of such platforms. He knows what's happening. He might seem like he's doing journalism, but he is being a platform for opposition. Opposition parties from within the cracks of Zanu PF. So if Nelson Chamisa continues to be on sabbatical and tamper with your feelings and you attack every person who is trying to force him to open his mouth to speak on behalf of the opposition party, then you have got the problem. You are sharing the same problem with your leader. Do you know what you did? You all need to go to the same hospital to be treated of the same disease. Other than that, face reality. Face reality. It's not about losing the people. It's about facing up to reality. Everyone who was watching the Zanu PF Congress, let's agree on one thing. There was class in the setup. Number two, there was lifestyle. You could see that there was a call for unit. They were all doing things in one accord. Everything was presented well. Whatever was said by Blessed Runesu Geza, it's like it was never heard by these people. Kudata Gwire was there and unfazed about what was said. Anyone that you wanted, the Jacob Mudendas were there, making the slogan the loudest they've ever made before. Meaning to say they are confident about their position. It left maybe 1%, if not none, convinced that 2030 is now going to be endorsed. Zanu PF has done their part very well pertaining the fight and the loud that was being made on public domain. So what about opposition? Opposition is either you keep quiet or you start a petition to denounce. Let me be very straight with you. Beg a petition and denounce Nelson Chamisa. Because his quietness is what has put you where you are. His quietness is what has costed you. One thing he had the popularity, but he didn't have the power. One thing that the VP had was the power, but could not have the popularity. And the people could not jump on board to support the vice president, all because Chamisa is holding a scepter. That scepter is no longer carrying everyone who was on board in the beginning. From the 2 million supporters, hand upon my heart, I'm 100% convinced, 100% convinced that from the 2 million, Chamisa has lost half of his supporters. Ever since it started, he was an untouchable God figure. Right now, whatever he posts, what you get is 99.9% negative comments. It tells you something. Human idolization and you supporting him and putting his name out is what has costed you. So what can I say? To other people, they will be hurt when I say congratulations, Zanu PF. They have proved that they can stand the test of time. With all divisions, with all internal fights, they have shown that they are all agreeing to one thing. You cannot deny that the sitting president is a strategist. You might like him, you might not like him, but he has proved that he's a strategist. Whoever is helping him in doing that, they are doing a good job. I saw Zanu PF looking smart to the point. Right now, people are clueless. They don't even know what to do. What I've heard now, I've heard that they are not going to be firing the vice president, Constantine Gouveia Chiwenga. He's not going to be fired. They're just going to manage him. Secondly, what I have heard, and I'm telling you honestly, I have heard that they are not going to be looking for Blessed Runesu Geza as much as they know where he is. They are now leaving him to live under that confined environment. You can't even move 2 steps out of the place where you are confined. No, you can't. So basically his independence is suppressed. He's no longer an independent person. He can't go he can't go 1 meter out of the house or wherever he's kept. He cannot. His freedom is taken away. Food, you'll get it. It's just like any person in prison. Food, you'll get it. But you don't have that freedom. You and me, we can walk up and down. We can go wherever we want and come back without anyone tracing out or tracking us behind. That's the freedom that has been taken away from him now. I was speaking to one person and I said, right, now that everything seemed to be concluded pertaining Zanu PF, what's now going to be the outcome of people like Blessed Runesu Geza, who has come out speaking? The young guy who's in prison, Nyokai Mabunu, what's going to be the outcome? Obvious, the Nyokai Mabunu issue, in case you didn't know. I'm trying to So you need now to speak to him nicely. And let this young guy be released. Because right now, even if he comes and starts to make noise, nothing is going to change. Because everything has been broken, shattered. You know, you can try and fool yourself to say, okay, we're still going, yeah, the struggle, the whatever. Rumors, let me not speak about these rumors that I've heard. I need to verify things before I bring them up. There are some people, you know you're a popular figure. Yeah, you're not a celebrity, you're a popular figure. And you are trying to lead into a 1 million man march where you are not financed, where you are not connected to the leader and the candidate that you are looking to push into office. Don't do that. Whenever you're playing politics, make sure you are introduced to the people at the top and they know you in person. If something goes wrong, they should give you assurance that will come and fight for you, that will come and represent you, that will come and make sure that you are safe. I'm looking at these young guys, the Traores. Right now he's in South Africa. Hardly can he move 1 meter from where he is to a place outside of his house. He knows. And what I'm telling you is true. You can ask him. He knows. You just see some funny faces going around your place. And you definitely know that I'm not very safe where I am. You're depriving yourself of independence. You are going in there unassured by the people you're trying to push into office. Let me give you a good example. Let's say I'm for the vice president, Constantine Buvenyika Zino Dominic Chiwenga. I will never put my foot out unless I'm rest assured by him and the structures that's supporting him or backing him, that if something goes wrong, they should come in and stand up for me. If I'm to go out, I have to make sure that I'm known by the hierarchs. This is the biggest problem that many people are facing, especially in opposition to the sitting president. You are going there naked, without any cover. When you fall into trouble, you're by yourself. In Nigeria, they say Oyo. You know what Oyo means? On your own. So this is exactly what's happening. Don't put your drive on public domain and endanger your life. Even if you're speaking against Zanu PF, I think this is the right time you need to start to tone down your voice. Especially if you're a blogger, especially if you're a celebrity, especially if you're a well-known person. This is the time you just need to start to tone down your voice. Start to talk about something. Don't apologize if you don't want to apologize, but just tone down your volume. Because even the strongest person, the vice president, who was speaking against the Riganandas, no one can doubt that he was toned down at that conference. And it left a lot of people hopeless. Whoever is still talking about Guru, I'm still yet to see. But signs on the ground are proving that game over. And it's game on the ED side. The youth, they were singing and chanting. Not even an incident or an attempt of anything. Because I told you, the security on the ground is tough and tight, well articulated. It was put in advance more than a month before the conference. What kind of security is that? That's what we call investing in protecting your position. Right now, I don't know. Whatever you're going to say, you're just going to say it maybe to tickle your feelings, but the truth of the matter is, you know what I've just told you is true. Call me Murakashi, call me whatever you call me. I'm just an informant, a person who gives you information and advice. The truth of the matter is, I don't see opposition coming to life again. With this kind of act, I don't see opposition coming to life again. Okay, let's come to this. Let's assume Nelson Chamisa won the 2023 elections. Why didn't he take power? It's because he lacked power. Right now, what was happening, he should have seen what power does. Blessed Geza is not a very very known person from within the Zanu PF structures. Yes, he was within the Central Committee, he was there politically, whatever. But look at it. He was just like Sengezo Shavangu, a figure within the top brass but unknown. Blessed Geza is the version of Sengezo Shavangu from the opposition, an unknown figure who's trying to take power. Sengezo was aided, obvious, by Zanu PF to make sure that whatever they are doing from within their strategy, they fund him well and get him to push their agenda, which he did very good. And I want to believe he was handsomely paid for that. Although he's no longer feeling very well, but he was handsomely paid for that. So according to him, he achieved what he was assigned to do from within the opposition. Blessed Geza has come out. The people that he has been speaking on their behalf, I don't think they've actually helped him in a lot of ways, except the security in the cubicle where he's hidden. He's just become a blogger. Let's be honest. He has just become a blogger. Especially with the closure of the conference today. the Zanu PF annual conference, 90% of the people can agree with me that it is game over. Do you know some of my best friends and some of my good buddies, they were former CCC committee members, top brass. Top brass. But we will tell each other the truth. I'll tell them, you guys, you're messing up there. You're not going to go. You guys, you could do ABC and talk about ABC, but you're not cracking through there. That's what you need. Liberty of freedom of speech. Tell each other the truth. They would ask, so what do you think about this? So who's that? I will explain. What I don't know, I'll tell them I don't know, but give me 2-3 minutes or give me a day, 2-3. I'll make sure that I find out for you. Find out and I'll tell them. But still, I'll tell them that you're fighting and a lion there. It's dangerous. Make sure when you step into these political circles and into these political activities, you are rest assured by people at the top. When something goes wrong, those people, they stand with you. As of now, I'm out. But the truth of the matter is the 2030 agenda, 99.9%, it's going to be passed. And where does this leave you? Having raised your hopes, you started from the opposition until it was destroyed. You went on to the in-house Zanu PF divide. Now it has been defeated. Where does your hope lie? Let me understand. You tell me, where does your hope lie? Who's leading from the front? Where does your hope lie? Trust me, until you denounce the former opposition leader, Silence of Chamisa, and you get people like Advocate Tabani Mpof, Advocate Fadzai Mahere, and Advocate Tedaibit, if you bring them together, those people, and make them a trio to lead and form an opposition, I think you will start to head in the right direction. Get the Monzore. Don't look for another new name. Negotiate with him for the MDCT party. Negotiate with him and operate from within the same spirit of that MDCT. It's a name that was given. It's a name that was prayed for. You can't just dump it. So if opposition is to form, make sure you're using that original name, but with different leaders. Whatever the former opposition leader says, just ignore him. Tell him off. It's your right. Tell him off. Tell him off. Let me be honest with you. Tell him off. Just imagine, let me give you a hint. You form that structure. Then before you know it, you invite the general. Then we know game on. That is if there's still elections. But without that, you are doomed. Trust me, you are doomed. The advantage of the general is he knows how Tingolingo is played from within Zanu PF. Nyango pakanzi pakuitwa ma-elections. Unenge zati right, panapa tirikumbonerera gore rine. Why? Because he knows how things are played from within Zanu PF. Nelson Chamisa is just waiting for an assurance from some other people. I don't think general would need such assurance. If I was general, I think the best for him is now to resign from Zanu PF, be an unpopular figure, and run with the opposition. The problem is no one wanted to denounce themselves from Zanu PF. It shows you that everyone wants to be within Zanu PF, because outside of Zanu PF you become a nobody. Whoever has stepped out of Zanu PF has just become a non-known person. Anyway, just my 2 cents. To those who got harsh, to those who are very harsh, especially when I speak or say things, let me tell you what you need to do. Get your phone that you are using to watch this and throw it on the ground very hard. After that, pick it and talk to me, because that's the only way. That's the way you can only exercise your harshness. Because truth at times needs to be taken head on, because it helps. It is only by the truth that shall set you free. You're not for the people. I'm for the people. Any person who tells the truth for me is a person for the people. But any person who tickles you with lies is not for the people. So the people you're saying are for the people are not the people for the people. The people you're saying are not for the people are the people for the people. It is as simple as it sounds. Have a good day and I'm out.